YouTube? What's going on? It's your favorite Misfit FM. Welcome back to another episode of the Roundup presented by your favorite station. Before hopping into today's video, make sure you like, subscribe, do everything you can to support your favorite Misfit here on the channel. The link's in the description. Check me out on all socials. You know me on Misfit Sasuke on IG. Be posting pretty much daily over there. Same thing with Misfit FM on TikTok. So make sure you support me in any way you can because I greatly appreciate it. Yes, we are back here another day of the Roundup. You know what we do here on the Roundup. We talk all things anime, pulp culture, manga, webtoons, real life events, whatever pops in my mind. We talk about them. We talk about me on this platform. So I appreciate you guys tuning in this weekend for the vibe. And let's hop into the first topic of the day. All right, so the anime awards for Crunchyroll Anime Awards just finished, wrapped up not too long ago. There's a lot of different controversies coming out of that one. Not really controversy, just people complaining about those who didn't win versus what won and all that fun jazz. So I wanted to talk about it because I find it very interesting. Now, for context, for me personally, I don't get lost much into when it comes to these award shows anymore. I used to, but not anymore. Just at the end of the day, whoever wins, wins. Whoever loses, loses. It's bah humbug. By the end of the day, when it comes to anime, all the nominees are still great animes. Like, I'm never going to take that away from them. I'm never going to joke about or diss them because at the end of the day, anime is anime. You like some, you hate some. You might have a hate-love relationship with others. It's whatever. So starting off with anime of the year, I'm a big fan of Solo Leveling. You know, I've been reading this as a webtoon. You guys know me. Seen a lot of the content I post around here. A lot of it's around Solo Leveling. Mainly Boruto and Naruto, though. But Solo Leveling got a special place in my heart. So when we won anime of the year, I was very surprised by that because looking at the nominees, I was kind of looking at maybe Frieren, the Apothecary Diaries. I think Dan Dana was in there too. But I was looking at those three because they kind of fleshed out more of their plots. They've been around for a minute. A lot of people have them in high praises. With Solo Leveling, we just wrapped up season 2, season 3 potentially on the way, and I know that has a lot of like hype momentum, and I think that played a big role in kind of winning anime of the year. I know some people look at Solo Leveling and be like, oh, it's just pure action, there's no really plot, no proper character development. Like, dude, let's calm down a little bit. We got plot, we got some character development in there. It's just not as comparison to what I just said in terms of other animes I've listed, because like, let's be fair here. When you look at other animes, like let's look at Frieren, for example. Frieren has really flushed out their anime. It is sensational anime. Obviously, I've only seen clips for the most part, but I understand the story enough to be like, that's a solid anime right there, and I'll never diss it. Same thing with Apothecary Diaries, the opening song. I love that song. If you know, you know. I'm not gonna play it on YouTube because I don't want to get copyrighted, but if you know the song I'm talking about, you know. But both solid animes. They flushed out their plot really well. Obviously, they don't rely more on their animation. They rely more on this overall, just building out the world around them. Now, with Solo Leveling, I can tell you where we're at in the anime right now is not really in depth as it would be in the webtoons where we get later on, where it really builds out that story, builds out that world more oftenly. So I get it. You want to use the argument? Fine. But let's be fair here at the end of the day. It's still a good anime, regardless if you like it or you don't. You don't want to give us credit, it's fine. We don't care. And I always enjoy these conversations because it's always the same like clapbacks whenever people don't get the anime that they want that one. Like, look, at the end of the day, if your anime didn't win, that doesn't mean it sucks. It just means it didn't win. You still have an amazing fan base who supports you, loves you, and appreciates you. And I support every nominee that has been nominated for every award on the Crunchyroll Anime Awards, and especially here in Anime of the Year. Like, I still think Frieren, Apothecary Diaries, they're still solid animes, and who knows, they might mess around and win Anime of the Year next year, one of the two. But to say that Solo Leveling robbed those two, I can see your argument, but I guess we'll just agree to disagree. Again, I'm biased towards Solo Leveling, so I'm not gonna obviously just say Solo Leveling is crap. Like, I'll acknowledge it when it has crappy moments, just like any other anime in the universe. But just to kind of diss it like that, I don't know. You know, I like that, because at the end of the day, if Solo Leveling didn't win Anime of the Year, I would still be saying the same thing, and I would still be gassing those respective animes because they're still good animes. All of these animes I'm saying, they're still good. It's just, I get it. The internet's the internet. People are going to have their opinions. So I implore you, what you guys think of Anime of the Year for Crunchyroll? I would love to hear your takes on it. Like I said, I was surprised by Solo Leveling winning it. One of my followers in IG, when I made a post about this same topic, made a really good point about how you really got to look at the marketing. Like I said, I mentioned before, the marketing and a lot of just the overall momentum that season 2 gave to Solo Leveling. That definitely played a role in helping it win Anime of the Year. And there are some people saying, oh, you know, the executives need to make sure that Solo Leveling wins. Bro, shut up, dude. Like, at the end of the day, it won. Bah humbug. We move on. It's an award show. The last thing I'll say on the topic of Crunchyroll Anime Awards is, like, this happens every year. Sometimes it's more toxic than other years, But hey, at the end of the day, I'm still happy that all these little animes were nominated. I'm happy that all of us as anime fans can have these kind of discourses, because like 10 years ago, this wasn't a thing. Let's be fair here. 10 years ago, a lot of us, even when I remember growing up, like I used to get bullied over disliking anime. So the fact that we got these award shows now where all these cool celebrities that you would think not like anime, but they like anime, or maybe they like anime, but not to the extent that we do. But just to see the rise of anime culture, sometimes negative at times, but overall I think it's mostly positive experience. It's been a good thing. We got big, even like for example, DreamCon's happening right now, and that was based on this idea of a group of guys who, again, they liked a lot of things. Anime was one of them, and they made a big living off of it. And look at them now, hosting big conventions where you have anime like stuff there. So at the end of the day, I love where anime is going. Obviously, moments like this is kind of like touch and go, but it's still a fun thing to experience. So let me know how you guys feel about Crunchyroll Anime Awards, what you like, what you didn't like, any of all that stuff. I would love to see it down in the comment section. Moving on, let's talk about the world of Boruto and Naruto. Realistically, there's not too much to be talked about there. Obviously, the new chapter Boruto dropped last week. Got to see really much how the battle between Boruto and Jorah is heating up. Also, the potential other players in the game might be popping up based on what we're seeing so far. Specifically, what I'm saying is, and obviously, if you have been living under a rock for a little bit off social media, let me kind of jog your memory. Momoshiki, we're talking about Momoshiki. Momoshiki, we haven't seen him in about 2 years, because I think the last time we saw him in the manga was essentially when he was foreshadowing Boruto about his future again. And same thing with the anime, it's kind of similar. It's pretty much, we haven't seen him since the anime ended, if you really think about it. We've seen snippets of Momoshiki being mentioned, but we haven't seen him being introduced to Two Blue Vortex yet. We haven't seen him that at all. He hasn't talked, none of that. We don't know if he's popped up during that brief time skip moment when Boruto was training with Sasuke, or Sasuke also got turned into a tree. So we don't know what's going on with Momoshiki, but we at least can maybe just assume, or just pretty much go under the impression that with the way Boruto was acting when his karma acted up with Kaoki during that brief moment they fought initially, that he's still there and that he's in fear of Momoshiki coming out, because if he does, it's bad news from the looks of it. And especially because of Kaijin, when he said like, hey, get away from Kaoki, we don't want you unleashing that, because the moment she gets out, it's bad news. So maybe he popped out and got worser, but it looks like Boruto has gotten even more off when it comes to controlling his karma, to the point where he doesn't even want to risk it anymore. So that says a lot about the prospect that if Momoshiki does come back, will Boruto be able to regain control, or will he fall into some type of long unconscious sleep, or then Momoshiki takes on a more powerful control over his body. Also, what's I find it kind of funny is that like a lot of that, this new reemergence hype for Momoshiki, there's been a lot of interesting things that come out, some interesting graphic things, and I mean, that's not really new though. It's been pretty common for a long time to see a lot of very horny images of Momoshiki, if you catch my drift. It's been, I mean, I find humor in them. I don't really dive into that type of stuff. I mean, hey, to each their own on that one. But when it comes to Momoshiki, man, obviously I enjoy him as a character. He's always been one of those villains that like you hate him, but you always love him when you see him in the manga, and you always are curious to see what's up with him, what he has planned, because of his abilities. Obviously, he's probably one of the more kind of well thought out Ukazuki that we've kind of been encountered with, and one that we always enjoy his company when he's popping out doing his Momoshiki thing. So feel free to let me know when you guys think when we will see Momoshiki again. Will we see him next month in the upcoming chapter? Will we not? Let me know what you guys think about Momoshiki, what your current feelings about him is right now. I would love to know all that stuff in the comment section below, because again, this is a video, this is a conversation. I always enjoy talking to you guys, getting your thoughts, because it helps me make some really cool post ideas, and also great to get to know my community. So let me know your thoughts down below. Aside of those two topics, obviously I got nothing really much to say. It's been quiet over here on the streets of Misfit FM, so you know we do the good things and the good business on this fine little weekend. So before I have it now, let me say first off, thank you guys so much for checking out today's YouTube video. I hope you're having a fantastic day, weekend, wherever it is you're doing when you're watching this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back here next weekend, 100% doing predictions for the upcoming Boruto chapter, because this time I know when the next Boruto chapter is dropping, I'm not going to be caught off guard this time around. So for context, for those who don't know, I didn't know a Boruto chapter this month, Boruto chapter was dropping, and I had a post already made for something completely different, not related to Boruto. So then when I saw everyone posting about the Boruto chapter, I'm like, what y'all talking about? And then I saw it pop up on the app I use to go read manga, and I'm like, oh, let me rechange my whole plans on this. So I'm ahead of this. We're gonna be good. predictions next week, 100%. So I'll see you guys here next weekend for predictions for Chapter 23 of Boruto 2 The Vortex. I thank you guys so much for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.